My brothers and sisters, may the Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Jesus came down from the mountain with Peter, James, and John and approached the other disciples. They saw a large crowd around them and scribes arguing with them. Immediately on seeing him, the whole crowd was utterly amazed. They ran up to him and greeted him. He asked them, "What are you arguing about with them?" Someone from the crowd answered him, "Teacher, I have brought to you my son possessed by a mute spirit. Wherever it seizes him and throws him down, he foams at the mouth, grinds his teeth, and becomes rigid. I asked your disciples to drive it out, but they were unable to do so." He said to them in reply, "O faithless generation, how long will I be with you? How long will I endure you? Bring him to me." They brought the boy to him, and when he saw him, the spirit immediately threw the boy into convulsions. As he fell to the ground, he began to roll around and foam at the mouth. Then he questioned his father, "How long has this been happening to him?" He replied, "Since childhood. It has often thrown him into fire and into water to kill him. But if you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us." Jesus said to him, "If you can, everything is possible to one who has faith." Then the boy's father cried out, "I do believe, help my unbelief." Jesus, on seeing a crowd rapidly gathering, rebuked the unclean spirit and said to it, "Mute and deaf spirit, I command you, come out of him and never enter him again." Shouting and throwing the boy into convulsions, it came out. He became like a poor corpse, which caused many to say, "He is dead." But Jesus took him by the hand, raised him, and he stood up. When he entered the house, his disciples asked him in private, "Why could we not drive the spirit out?" He said to them, "This kind can only come out through prayer." The Gospel of the Lord. This segment from Mark's Gospel, found in chapter 9, is the following scene that occurs after the Transfiguration event. Jesus, as you recall, takes the Peter, James, and John up to Mount Tabor, and for a couple of minutes, everything is made clear as to who he is precisely, as both the prophets and the law end up honoring him. And the disciples are given this kind of image and message with the hopes that they could hold on to it, especially when things got difficult down the road. They find then they come back down from the mountain, and right away the problems begin occurring again. People are arguing, wanting to have some kind of a healing, not sure what to take place, why it can't be done. And Jesus is sort of frustrated by the whole experience again, it seems, as he responds initially, because here he's just had this experience with the disciples, and it seems that they still haven't picked up on it, still haven't necessarily understood what this is all about. But out of patience and out of love and out of mercy, he heals the boy. And he reminds them that you have to have faith and you have to be prayerful if you expect to have healing to take place. We just began today again ordinary time in the church year. Pentecost concludes the celebration of the Lenten and Easter seasons yesterday. So we find ourselves getting back into the humdrum of things. And in the course of our regular living of life, it's very easy for us to forget those moments of grace and those opportunities of miracle which we experienced during the course of the Lenten season in the various stories of Jesus' healings and the event of the resurrection event following the crucifixion. When we're into the ordinary things of life, we tend to sometimes again take things for granted. And so this morning we are reminded, much the same as the disciples were, that we must be people of faith, we must be people of belief, we must be people of prayer. And if we have those things and they're part of our life, no matter what we experience and encounter in our day-to-day living, we'll not only survive, but we'll be victorious because of it.